There's a lot of severe weather that happened yesterday and it's gonna make its way today. So let's get right in the forecast. But first, before we get into all of that, I just want to show you guys one thing, okay? I want to show you guys the flash flooding. Today. And we also got to talk about Oklahoma storm. So, I mean, there's a lot of bad flooding. I mean, we can see that there's people stopped on the ground. Look at all that flooding that shifts over there. That's over up there in Chicago. I mean, this is some bad flooding. One more thing I gotta show you guys. What was I about to do? Oh, the Oklahoma storms last night. Okay. OKC storms last night. I want to show you guys what happened and stuff. I mean, we had stuff coming over. We had stuff flipping over. We had a huge tornado over there. We had someone covering that. I forget who. Taylor, yeah. I was covering this live, so if you guys tuned in, we stayed up to 3 a.m. doing that. Not 3 a.m. We stayed up to at least 1 in the morning, so I got 8 hours of sleep. Not bad. We had some bad lightning. But, I mean, yeah, that's definitely gonna be a Yell Squad video on that channel. I mean, look at this. Let's watch this. I mean, look at that. Metro tornado warning, the base velocity. I mean, there's 4 surrounding, and you can't even see these tornadoes. So, I'm not expecting them to pop up. Alright, let's get back into the forecast. Because, yeah. Alright, so looking at, what's going to happen with our categorical and stuff today. There's going to be... So, as we can see on the radar, there's storms there. I'm going to try to get that off. Let's get the radar off there. Yeah, it doesn't help. Gotta turn off that. Yeah. And then turn on the radar. Or no. And I just need outlooks on. Yeah. But yeah, look at our category. It's not as bad today, but it still can be in a certain way. There could be tornadoes forming because of a cold front, because there's a cold front. There is a cold front right over here. That's good from Fort Wayne, which Fort Wayne's probably gonna start our storms today, if I'm guessing. That's gonna make its way to Canton. Cleveland, you're still in this, but also we get some parts of New York up there. This also goes into certain parts of New York. Buffalo up here, Rochester. I mean, there's still gonna be some storms up there that you guys are gonna have to watch out of. But yeah, it's all Cincinnati. You're down here, but you don't really count. But you can still get hit. But all we gotta worry about really is just the tornadoes coming and severe thunderstorms over there. And there was last night, which there probably is again. There was actually a tornado warning in Akron last night. It was a small one. Yeah, but with that, oop, why are we so? What just happened to my map? That's good. Okay, but it's not just It's not just that. Here, the Lincoln cold front. Like, you're right. How does it just spawn there? Yeah, you're right. How does it? Well, we can see there's general risk all around, bordering this storm over here. Well, there kind of is a marginal risk, but there's also stuff that forms that spawns this, so it kind of does count. But, I mean, if we go back to the radar, I mean, right now, the ComTies, my bad. We can see all of this. Like, that's storms. That's most likely going to come in here by, like, 11 or 12. But the storms are, like, stopped right now. And it's going to keep stopping, so that means it's going to take a while to get over here. So I'm thinking it's going to get here a little 12, and actually the severe part's going to start around, like, 2 or 3. Because this storm's like an on and off storm. It goes on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. So, yeah. That's probably going to happen. It's going to take a while for the storm to get all the way through Ohio. And it might not even get up here. And it's probably going to make its way all the way down here to Washington. I wouldn't expect it to, but it might. Baltimore, the only way they really get hit today, because, yeah, they're in this warning, the general risk, but the only way they really get hit hard is if this closes out on them. And that's the scary part if you live in Baltimore. Like, you're like in a spot where you're most likely going to get closed out on all the time and stuff. So, yeah. The only way it's a bad storm there is really if it gets closed out, or if a storm starts over here and there's a rotate and hot and cold air, then there's going to start multiple tornadoes by like 6 or 7 tonight. Oh my god, 6, 7. I know. But, we're not going to get over flash flooding yet, but, now we see also up here, this all the way up here to Lansing. Ooh. This is a whole different storm that's going to start later today. It already kind of is starting, but there's ones down here. But, like, crossing up here, like, through Milwaukee, yeah, you're in this storm over here. Milwaukee, you're over here. But Milwaukee, yeah, okay. But this is like a storm that's connected to this one, but there's also a storm up here, which what can happen is if it has enough power, to make its way through the top of Chicago, the north side of Chicago, make it, I'd say, through, like, Glenview down there. If it has enough power to get through Glenview, and it turns down here, because it's probably not going to interact with this storm over here. I mean, if it really does, if I can get this shit off here. If it really does, then I don't know. But we'll see. Okay, this is the one scenario, which is probably likely going to happen. It goes through the north side of Chicago, goes through half of Iowa, because, like, this storm's going to turn a lot and stuff. It goes through Iowa, it either goes straight and ends here at Sioux Falls, or it meets up with this storm over here by over here. Maybe it's probably gonna curve down here. We can see the lineup. Goes back into Illinois. It meets up with this storm if there's a storm over here, and then it goes down to Oklahoma City because it has more power again to do that. If it has the power to do that, and it makes it all the way down to Oklahoma City, and we get a whole storm there all night. That is the only way that we get storms there, because it's not likely today. They're not in this warning. They're literally getting their storms like right now. But that's the only way. So, like, down here, this from, like, I'd say the cutoff's about, yeah, right here by Baltimore. Baltimore, you're in both storms. So that's why you can get closed out on and cooked. Yeah, cooked. It's like right there. But this is a whole different storm, which the only way that this really gets big storms, and, like, talking about big severe thunderstorms and tornado warnings and embedded tornadoes, is if this kind of closes out on Atlanta. It starts a little bit there in Georgia, which is probably going to spread around the whole Georgia and make its way down here to Jacksonville. But the storm's not, it's likely to lose its power by Jacksonville, because you guys got to remember, There's also a storm coming from up here that's going to make its way down here. And it's probably going to lose its power by the time it ends there. Let's talk about here, Dallas. You're pretty much in this. You have flash flood warnings because you're about to get poured on all day by this big storm over here. But this storm is gonna. It looks like it's gonna close out on you if you guys really have flash flood watches. And like over here, it doesn't. And you're most likely about to get closed out on by this big storm. So I'm talking about you're gonna get closed out by this. It's gonna make its way down there, and you're also gonna get closed out by this. And if that Iowa scenario happens, then Oklahoma is gonna close out on Dallas. And I might have to refresh my app. Hold up. But yeah, that's the only way. I'm gonna refresh my app. But that's literally the only way. Just like if that happens, then Dallas, that's why there's flash flood watches. Alright. Well, that's our categorical storms. I know that was a lot. Check on tornadoes. I mean, we talked about the cold front that's going to make its way over here. Oh, wait, no, we got to talk about Sunday. Wait, my bad. So over here in Sunday, it's just down over there. Not big of a risk, and there's definitely not going to be a cover. It's 0%, just a video confirmed video. I'm going back to our tornadoes on day 1. The only way there's really tornadoes is if the cold front hits the hot front, because it's going to be hot over here. And the only way it comes in the middle of around the flash flooding, which is not good, but whatever. And starts tornadoes, probably around 6 or 7 o'clock. I know, 6, 7. Oh, I thought that was a severe thunderstorm. We'll get to the high wind, but we also got to talk about flooding and stuff. But down here, this is like our only tornado warning. But tomorrow, nothing, nada. Our hail, not that bad today. No hail. All right, let's go to our rainfall, the bad rainfall. Oh my God, that covers up half the map. Oh my God. So it's supposed to rain all day on the eastern side, but not down here. So like here in. So see, going back to Baltimore. It might be too dry at Baltimore to get closed out on because it's not raining at all. So it might be too dry to get closed out on. The storm's just going to dry up by the hot weather in Baltimore. I'd say it's going to be a nice day there. But those highlighted areas are not going to be a nice day. It's just going to rain all day. But our big risk is like over here in Ohio. But the ones like here in Illinois, they're not covered. But there is flash flooding. Because it's not supposed to rain there today. That's the thing. It's not going to have heavy rain like this. Dallas, we talked about earlier. That's most likely to get close. I'm here in Jackson, Tennessee. Ted Lasso over there. But yeah, this is the bad rainfall that's going to happen. Which is going to... Yeah. Let's talk about our flooding. So yesterday we had a lot of flooding from all the storms that we've had this week. From Peoria, from every day of this week. Let me just show you guys. See? All this green. Hold up, let me fix this. But all this green over here. You can see here. See, there's all this green over here. Which is going to cause a bunch of rain all around. And that's what's going to cause flash flooding. The reason why Dallas is covered is it's going to be raining all day. And like this can cause those Texas flooding again because this is a lot of rain. I mean, this is a lot. I mean, we got cold fronts coming in. We got a whole lot. So, I mean, just be careful. Watch out for flooding there and report it to the NWS if you see that. And they'll put a watch on it or even upgrade it to a warning. Alright, let me do this. Alright, talking about high winds, we do have a lot of bad high winds risks. I'm talking about like over here where the cold front is to cause damage. I mean, there's a lot of damage over here in OKC, which is Oklahoma City. There's a lot of damage down there with winds, but there's winds that can blow away trampolines in here in Ohio. So if you have trampolines in your backyards in Ohio, I mean, I'd make something for it to stable, or even like just cover it up. Or if you have like a staple fence, then it's not going to be flying over. But only way it flies over, the when it's 80 miles per hour, it flies over the fence. But just tie something to it to the ground so it doesn't fly away. But that's our wind. Alright. Now let's talk about our ice storms. Let me show you guys on the radar real quick. Let me show you guys on the context. So we can see all of this ice storms and stuff. We can see there's like winter storms over here. Like this purple is winter storm warnings. And then, yeah, all these winter storm warnings. So what's happening with this rotate, and I'll show you guys. What's happening with this rotate is it's rotating down, but it circles back up. So what's happening really is it circles down a little bit, but then it rotates back up, and that's what's causing ice to happen. Because the second time it comes through, there's going to be cold weather, which is going to cause an ice storm, freezing around conditions up to 20 degrees in April. But these blue dots are ice storm warnings, and this is like ice coming down from like sky and stuff and freezing all around. So like if your car's outside, I'd cover it up with one of those mats. You can buy it on Amazon for like $20. Put those on because there's ice falling down. And yeah. There's freeze warnings also down here in Grand Junction. This is surprisingly in like Arizona and stuff. Or no, this is in Utah. That's normal. That's actually normal. But yeah, just watch out for ice storms and ice falling down from the sky. I know it sounds stupid. But yeah. That's pretty much what I have for you guys. Let me just see. Now just look places we're going to get nice weather today. So, places are going to get nice weather. Okay, well, obviously, here's going to be a nice day. But this is not going to have a nice day. Because, like, yeah, flooding and stuff. Nothing covered. Only a part of Oklahoma City is going to have a nice day. So, just if you want to have a nice day today, drive from Oklahoma City, get on Highway 40, and find a place over there to spend outside. It's going to be like 60 degrees, I'd say. But yeah, it's our nice weather. That's the majority of the USA, which is actually pretty good. Looking at our airport weather. I mean, looking at our O'Hare. Looking at our O'Hare weather. There's flood watches, so I mean, some people in O'Hare might not be able to fly out. There is a lot of storms and stuff. I mean, there's like, yeah, but there's just flash flooding, which might cause planes to not fly out. And they also got to check a landing, because, like, people who also fly into Illinois might be a little wet, and the plane might slip off. Turbulence is gonna pop out, injure people, and yeah, it's just. I don't know if people are gonna be able to fly in the O'Hare today or anywhere with flash flooding. Same thing applies to like somewhere like Oklahoma City, here in Dallas. Dallas International Airport probably not be able to fly out today. I bet like in the morning and now they can, because it's still a little rainy and stuff, but whatever. But yeah, it's pretty much all I have for you guys. I have one more thing to show you guys. Actually, two things to show you guys. RyanHollyall.com. So some of you guys probably want to know, how do I submit to Ryan Hollyall on a stream, like a photo or something? What you do is you go to Ryan Hollyall, then you do the submit thing, okay? But also, I recommend you guys looking at RyanHollyall.com for the intensity score, how it's going to be in 30 minutes. We can see that. I also prefer you guys to look at this. I fall over the same thing. Yeah. But also, this is a cover. But speaking of a cover, if you want to do covers like me do, like I do, you got to use Prism Live Studio. Best thing you can do. There's many things you can do. Like, look. This is like a, what's it called? Severe weather, okay? All you got to do is you got to record on here. You just got to record off here, okay? And then it posts it off, you can post it off of Prism Live Studio. Prism Studio. And it's a 3-hour video on YouTube. It's called a cover. That's what they call it. And you can post a 3-hour video on cover. I posted a 6-hour video last night of a cover, and it only took 2 hours. YouTube would probably take like 16 hours, I swear. So yeah, use Prism Live Studio if you want to do like 5-hour videos. You can even do it for 20-minute videos and get it out in 7 or 8 minutes. It's great. I recommend you using it. Best thing you can do for covers. But yeah, that's all I have. Stay safe. I'll see you guys for a possible cover later, maybe. Probably not, but yeah.